Hello, my name is David Bush and I am a property investor, and I would like to share with you my story, hoping it's going to be helpful for you in your own journey. So I came to this country in 2012 having just £300 in my pocket, without knowing anything about business, about property market, and my goal was just to earn some money, get back to my country, exactly to Poland, and have a lovely wedding with my future wife and settle down there. But the life showed me there is a different way, and even though when we arrive here without knowing the language, without knowing the people, today we have 2024, and currently I own over 50 properties, which most of them are HMO properties, and also I own over 20 LTD companies. After gathering all that knowledge from conferences, books, and other experienced people from that industry, I create a plan. A plan where I decided it's going to take me 2 years to leave my job. Before we arrived to this country, we've been promised that there will be a job in place, but unfortunately there was none. So we've been desperate because we already rent a room and we run out of our savings, and there was a situation where I thought we're gonna live on the street. So with that desperation, we start looking for new job, and in 2012, in April, just behind me, there was warehouses. They told us you can start working in this place. And even though it was minimum wage job with really hard conditions, cold temperatures, I'm very grateful that I got that opportunity, and this place helped me settle in this country. I was taking money out from one property and investing that money to another property. Took me 1 year to buy my first rental property, and then took me another year to buy another 3 properties. When I had property number 4, I decided I need to give notice, and that was 8-month notice in my workplace. They didn't believe me because no one before me did things like that, but 9 months later, so I have 1 month delayed, I give them a notice, it's time, I'm leaving, you've been informed. So in 2 years and 1 month, I left my job to start new journey, building my own property portfolio and my own businesses. So just on my left side, there is a house where everything just started. I have an idea to ask a landlord from who I rent this house out, can I have lodgers upstairs? It's a 3-bedroom house, and me and my wife decided to move to the living room on the ground floor, and we have other lodgers in the house. October 2014, this is the time when I pick up my first key. It was a huge challenge for me as a first-time buyer because the owner of that property was looking for the property of her dream, and at that time I didn't know what is the thing called chain, and unfortunately I was waiting for that house 6 months, but despite that I stick to the business and we rent 4 individual rooms. At that time I didn't know too much about license, HMO license, about regulations, but lucky for me, in those days, you could have 5 individuals without HMO license. And from that property, my journey of building my own portfolio just began. After 10 years of experience, recently, I decided also to try a new strategy for me, which is service accommodation. And again, I decided to do a high quality property where we install to it its own hot tube and sauna, and obviously all the rest been also top standard. The reward was the reviews from our clients, 5 stars, and also we got the guest favorite badge. After doing so many HMO properties, the time has come to do something more creative, and there was that pub for sale on auction, and just before auction I put an offer £105,000, and the vendor declined that offer. I went on auction, and on auction I purchased this property just for £70,000 plus VAT, which is in total £84,000. The renovation cost me £225,000, and we converted that building to 6 individual flats, and the net income yearly per annum is about £40,000, and the property on its own been valued for £450,000. Obviously there was many challenges with that, like usually with bigger projects, but we managed to solve them all. The idea was to bring to the market high quality flats. I believe that was a great idea because there is a huge lack of good standard properties on the market, and we had many interested tenants to rent those flats out. Obviously the rent was higher than any competition around this place, so end of the day I believe it was worth it to bring high quality to the market. So the next step was doing our first new build properties. So there was an opportunity to buy a land, and same as in previous history, I offered the owner much higher price. It wasn't accepted by him. The land went on auction, and on auction I got this much cheaper. The entire GDV of this project, where we built 7 detached houses, was £1,250,000, and entire cost including the land was around £1 million. And still we had to finish all those houses, unfortunately, during the pandemic. After my first development, I decided that maybe it's going to be a good idea to do something which will be more challengeable. And just before pandemic, I bought 2 pieces of land. One is over here next to the town hall with planning permission for 20 flats, and another one is close to the Sheffield city centre with the planning permission for 57 flats. But before I got those planning permission, I bought those 2 pieces of land without them, and unfortunately a few months later there was a world pandemic, and it affected on me the way that just to get planning permission took me 2 years for both of them. And we all know that in those times there was a huge problem with inflation, and the price of those new build flats didn't catch that up. But still we decided to build both of them, and for example this particular one, I will keep that in my portfolio, so all 20 flats will stay with us as rental properties. Through my journey I was still attending different kind of conferences, and always I was answering to people questions how I did that. And one day I've been asked to be a speaker on one of those meetings, and after that something incredible happened. Conferences helped me to meet other interesting speakers, and one of them advised me to create my own Polish YouTube channel which will talk about property business in the UK. And currently this channel have over 30,000 subscribers. I realized to scale up I need to build more different kind of businesses, which all of them was managing just my own property portfolio. And then people from those conferences start asking me for the services. So one of the services was education, where I educated already a huge number of Polish investors, where they copy my own steps, and today they also own 2-figure property portfolios. Obviously you will have a lot of challenges, but I'm the best example for you that the guy who came to this country without knowing anything, having just £300, could succeed as well.